Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We are positively in Salisbury, Maryland, not on 50. South of 50, actually, off of 13. We are at Fratelli's Italian restaurant with legitimate crab cakes from all over the state. I had lots of people saying that this was a must. We got it in nice and early on the tour. When I found that there was a Fratelli's in Salisbury, I'm like, we're going there. And so I reached George Kellis. I also have Mayor Jacob Day here. Sorry.
Oh, good.
It's good. Yeah, to make sure I get that, because we're friends now. We've done one segment of radio together. And we're on day 3 of the Crab Cake Tour. And first off, thanks for making time. I had no idea. You knew the mayor knew you. Like, you were off mic saying, was it 97 or 90? It's so long ago. You guys have known each other so long, you don't even remember when it was, right?
It was a long time ago.
Well, you're from around here, but you and I have a little commonality in and around Ponca and Grundy and the Stecky Club, and you spent your formative years, which is why it turned out so well, quite frankly, exactly. In Greektown in Baltimore, and we have everybody from Baltimore knows each other. That's almost like an Eastern Shore thing.
Sounds like an Eastern Shore thing.
If you know me, you probably know somebody from Baltimore, because that's why I'm doing Baltimore Positive. So thanks for coming on. Give your background, man. You got a beautiful place here, very vibrant, man. Yep. This is awesome.
So born and raised in Baltimore. Left there when I was 14. Dad opened this place in 1996, and
to come to the beach to live a better life like that, or
we decided to get out of Baltimore and come and just try to be at the beach and
everything you just told me about, for literally, right? You were that generation that did that, and you're the remnant still doing it, right?
Correct. I have twin sisters. They're older. They just graduated high school. They got into Salisbury University, so Dad decided to move to Salisbury, open a restaurant, and they went to Salisbury, and I went to Salisbury University, and so we've been here ever since.
And bringing a crab cake.
Yep, we brought Italian, and
so your dad in the restaurant business in Baltimore?
Yes, a restaurant business in Baltimore. We actually had a diner, and
where and what? Because I probably ate there.
It was
chances are
it was called Venus Diner, and it was in Essex.
I ate at the Venus Diner in Essex. I promise you, I did.
Yep.
So when I was a little boy, people asked me where I was from. I'd say Essex because my neighborhood in Colgate fed Kenwood High.
Okay.
So when I was 8 years old, I wasn't, believe it or not, as Dundalk as I am, it was considered sort of Essex at that time. So my family, my parents got married in Mount Carmel in 1945. My family was an Essex family because of Martin Marietta. Back to employment.
I just got this. We did not know this, and we did not discuss this. This is the first time this is coming up, and I didn't know.
Well, everybody knows I don't green room anybody. So.
But the connection here, my grandfather served as Church of God pastor in Essex in the 1980s and 90s. So we were in Essex constantly.
Did you go to Pizza John's for pizza?
Probably.
I hope you
I
did.
don't remember.
I got my Pizza John's cup in my bag here because I take care of my sponsors. So everybody knows there's my Pizza John's cup. And if you want a hard Pizza John's cup, you can have that. And it says it right there, Essex, Back River Neck Road. So make sure you take care of our sponsors. There you have it.
So I got my own Essex connection. We might have crossed paths in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Played Little League, but you guys are young. You're like babies, man. I was down at the pier today talking about the guy that used to guess the ages. I said, I that's something I don't win much, but I used to win that. Now that's all over with. But generationally, for you to spend your life here in Salisbury, create a business, and have a famous crab cake, right? I mean, your family, did the Venus serve this crab cake or no?
So it did not. We had a diner. It was 24 hours. It was 7 days a week. It was really difficult and tiring. And in Baltimore, it was just a really fast-paced life, and my father decided to start something new, so he took some time off. We sold the diner, and we had Salisbury in mind, and we knew that if we were going to sell good Italian in Salisbury, we needed to have good seafood. Good seafood translated to a good crab cake, and here we are 25 years later.
I don't want to know what's in it, but I need to know what's in it, kind of, sort of, and I'm going to eat it. And interestingly enough, when I walked in, I'm a fried crab cake guy. I grew up in East Baltimore. We didn't have any money. We had claw meat that we threw together. My mom Old Bayed it all up, and some celery seed here, and some mustard, some mayonnaise, and a glob of this, and some Worcestershire, and crackers, and she ate mustard, and I wanted. They tended to taste the way they did at Memorial Stadium, which is it's sort of a crappy crab cake, but man, I love it. So there's no bad crab cake.
Sure.
So I thought, and for years, all 30 years of my career, I have said I preferred fried to broiled. And on this tour, I have committed to however you serve it is how I'm going to eat it.
Right.
This is the first place, and it's only the third, where I walked in, and your manager, lovely, I was cramping, and she saved my life. She said, "You want fried, broiled, or both?" And I thought, that's a good question to have.
Yeah.
So you do serve it both ways?
We do. I would say on a crab cake sandwich, many people get it fried, but generally most people would get it broiled if they're going to have a crab cake, kind of like how we're having it with the side of homemade pasta.
I ordered a sandwich 3 weeks ago, and I had a family meeting with my wife and just decided I probably don't need the bread every day for 30 days. So I'm just going. I mean, it's bad. I'm eating all sorts of stuff. So I want to get these crab cakes up here, and everybody told me how big they were going to be. And in the new world, when you're putting a crab cake tour together, you want to make sure you're not making a mistake. So you look on Google now, and you can see what everybody's French fry looks like, right? I had that argument with the Thrashers guys. I don't like skinny fry. I'm a fat steak fry guy.
Yeah. Sure.
So like when I go to a place, they got skinny fries. I'm probably not getting a burger there, I saw pictures of all the crab cakes, and the wildest part is how different everyone's going to be, and how something's going to be in here, it's going to be missing, or something's going to be here, you're going to add. Is there anything you want to say about your crab cake, or was this back when you came here? Did you go through 10 different things to find what is the Fratelli's crab cake? And also, because I have a huge audience in Carroll County, right? Is this the same crab cake I would get there? Is it a family crab cake?
So Fratelli's originated here in Salisbury in 1996 with my father and his brother. I believe in 2007, his brother Nick left and went to Western Maryland. And now they are in Hampstead and Frederick. There's a Middletown. Fratelli's in Middletown, Fratelli's in Hampstead. So
I saw them both,
Yep.
and they're both very, very well thought of in their community for crab
So
cakes.
I assume and I trust the recipe is the same. I can assure you that this crab cake has been the same since 1996.
All right. Well, are we going to get into it together, Mayor?
Yes, and it looks the same. I mean, this is how I remember it. This is how I see it when I come in to eat here.
What did you do? Give me your busboying skill. Because you've been
We actually bussed together.
We did. We were
Well, hold on. You
together.
battled on behalf of our country. You've run and won a mayorship. You're clearly, have some competency about what you did. But was this your first gig?
This was.
You sell newspapers?
In fact, I didn't. But in fact, I did. There was a restaurant called Cafe Portofino. You remember Cafe Portofino in Salisbury?
Familiar.
Yeah, down in Fruitland.
Okay.
And I did.
The Mayor of Kindness remembers that.
I did. That's right. I did wash dishes. But they never gave me opportunity to show off my bussing skills. But Fratelli's said, "We'll give you a chance. We'll give you a shot." And
we're going to make you a contender.
Yeah,
you're gonna get
and I pride myself. So to this day, anytime I eat in a restaurant, I've got little kids. I've got a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, so it's a disaster every time. So I'm sitting there bussing as we go the whole time. I'm cleaning up.
Right.
I just feel bad. I don't want to leave a mess for me.
Stack the plates, put them on the side.
That's right.
Yep.
You clean
You
it
should
up.
have been bussing me with my wise thing I kicked over at Thrashers a couple hours ago. I'm so afraid of making a mess. One of the things that I never considered on this crab cake tour, now that I'm 3 days into it, so I went over to Suicide Bridge, and I didn't even tell them I was coming. I just sat down. They're playing country music. I'm having some fun with it. Ordered a crab cake, came. I got to meet the owner afterward, and we talked about things. He said, I knew you were legit when you pushed away the toppings and the condiments. So we've gotten into this now. Is at Harrison's down at Harbor Watch in Ocean City. What you serve, this looks like a remoulade.
So it's an Old Bay aioli. Yep.
So this...
Sounds pretty good.
Okay, I haven't put anything on a crab cake yet because what it comes with, no offense to cocktail, which I love. I've had... Nick and Pete would tell you at Costas, I have been guilty of putting cocktail in. I was admonished by Bill Devine and Nancy Devine at Fadley's. They hate peppers in their... We've had all of these... it's been a fun argument, but ketchup, tartar, cocktail, anything... That crab is sacred, and it doesn't have anything. But this... I'm going to go to 30 places. I don't know that anybody's going to do this. Give me the background on this a little bit.
Isn't that pretty?
So people wanted extra Old Bay on the side. People wanted mayo on the side. So we decided to come up with something to.
Is there garlic in that?
There is some garlic. There's some shallots.
All right.
Old Bay.
All things I like. Okay, good.
Definitely some mayo.
Any kick to it? Is there a little Tabasco-y kind of Texas PD? No, or nothing? Nothing spicy?
Generally, no. Nothing spicy. Yep.
All right. Well, because I'm a fried guy, and nobody's going to serve it fried because everybody likes it pretty. And I say to I used to say to Nick and Pete, you have no idea what I do to that crab cake when I take it home. I take it home. It's not.
That's right.
I said I don't put social media up of the pictures of my crab cakes.
Right.
I fry. That's medium rare compared to what I'll do to a crab cake. Now I'm trying to become more refined to get the Dundalk out of me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get out with the people a little bit and learn how
you're safe in Salisbury. No, we're not judging you. Come on.
If I put cocktail on that right now, you'd let me, right?
I'm gonna look the other way, but
no.
I mean, you could do it. We've got it on the side for you.
Go.
Well, everybody was bringing
plate.
it, but I wanted to know how you actually bring it. You know, because every place is going to do something different, and
right.
And I think the creative sauces. I want to ask you this before I even bite into the crab cake, because I haven't eaten enough other food. I left Harrison's, and I should be smacked for this. And you tell Ashley. I left, and everybody said, "Did you get the oyster stew?" And I'm like, I didn't know. I mean, I guess I knew about it when I Googled it, but I wasn't looking for side dishes. But I swore when this thing started, and we're doing Maryland Restaurant Week, by the way, in September, so I want to give some love to them because they're supporting us this month. But the other things on the menu are what bring me back. I got a rib place called Jack Stack in Kansas City. I love it. But it's a cheesy corn and a broccoli and the sides. So I need some vegetables. She'll tell you. I need some. Give some sides here. I had your pizza. You did a caprese salad stack with eggplant that was fried that I've just never seen before. Right. And I put it up. We took a picture of it earlier, and you can Google. Wow. You can find it. But you do have some unique things here, and I don't want to get out of it because you're trying to fatten me up with a cake and all this stuff. Tell me about some other things you do. You're in a legit Italian place. I'm in here eating a crab cake. I feel like I should be getting some pasta or something, you know?
Right. So I would say that the second most popular dish is the lasagna, which is homemade. We do it every day. Eggplant parmesan, just keeping it simple. Take the whole eggplant, cut it up, fry it, marinara sauce, cheese, all that good stuff. The Napoleon's Tower with the eggplant and the cheese and the tomatoes, just our twist to caprese. So we definitely have a full variety of Italian spaghetti. We make all our pastas here: spaghetti, linguine, fettuccine.
You make it in house.
Angel hair. As you walk in, you'd see our pasta machine. We make it every day. The side pasta is made here. All our sauces are made here, of course. Crab cakes. We do a couple batches a day.
Is this what the mayor has? Is that unique that you would serve like a fettuccine? A traditional Italian with a crab cake? Because I don't know that I'm going to see that in many places, right?
So typically, that side of linguine, and it comes either a vegetable, roasted potatoes, a side of pasta, or whatever vegetable we have of the day is their option. Everything comes with salad and bread, so you'll definitely get salad and a vegetable if you like, which is the greens that you're saying, and then you can enjoy the crab cake.
Let me also just say that one thing you can know here is, and this is true of the chicken parmesan, this is true of the veal piccata. The portions are unmatched. I mean, it is. You will never leave here hungry.
They brought me two.
Tell that, right? You could tell that from the crab cake.
They said you want fried, broiled, or both, and I'm like, gosh,
you'll never leave. Oh, and tell him about the. Do you still have the crab cakes Veneziano on them?
Yep. So we do. We have.
I didn't pronounce that. Spell that.
Yeah. So it's Veneziana, and it's 2 crab cakes, and it comes with provolone cheese on top, which sounds unconventional, but it's actually very popular.
It's so good.
See,
now those come broiled. You can't get them fried. We will say no to you.
But
that sounds really different, I'm going to a place Friday with Donna Edwards. We're going to a place called the Crab Cake Cafe. It's in National Harbor, and it's a crab cake place, right? And they do Hawaiian, do different kind of things. And I'm thinking, everybody thinks I'm going to get sick of crab cakes by the end of the month. But I want to do the traditional, right? Because, you can bring me a bunch of cheese, and I'll probably eat it up. But the traditional part of this is, I think, the reason I came. And these sides and the things people do with crab cakes are what's going to keep this interesting for me. And the fact that y'all keep bringing me 2 and 3 and fried and leaving them extra and making me eat them and then offering me desserts. This is going to be very, very troublesome. I mean, buttons are going to be popping by the time I get to Vegas for that Ravens
Just
game.
going to do a run, run every morning, a couple miles, put a couple miles in.
I just went walking last night just because I knew I needed to.
Yeah, I hear you. Right.
Well, the hospitality on the shore has been unmatched. I feel bad that, like, you've been looking at this crab cake. And then you served our country. You've gone away.
I've been lusting
you
after
came
this
over
crab
here.
cake the whole time?
You probably starved yourself today and said, I don't need lunch. I'm going over to Fratelli's, so I'm going to let you eat, all right?
Let's do it.
Mayor Jake Day's here, and George Kellis is here. I'm going fried. You're broiled,
Going
right?
broiled.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to remoulade it up until I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm going to do it though because it's different. If you just gave me cocktail, I wouldn't do it, but I want to try that and see what's going on there. So this I'm just going to love as much as anything because it's crunchy. Crunchy's going to work for me. Oh man. Yeah, I'd fry it even more because it tastes better fried. I'm not going to want the broil one.
It's so good, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you.
That's really, really good. That's delicious. This is really, really a simple cake, George. It
is. We try to keep it as simple as possible. We let the crab be the star.
Yeah, I always say the slurry, right? You know what and I think to some degree, like how it marinates, the sweetness of the meat and drawing out what you want when you're on the Eastern Shore, man.
Sure.
This is a delicious crab
And
meat.
anytime we can get local crab meat, we get local crab meat.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that because, like, I'm going to be doing some pickeries here, and that was one of the things that got us over here. I mean, it employs people here, man. It's just like and it employs your people to have better crab cakes and local crab cakes, so you're not having. We talk about keeping it local. I mean, I'm not uber local about everything because I think you want some peaches from Georgia or whatever, but there's nothing wrong with Eastern Shore peaches. But when it comes to crab, that's what we do here, and I find it very, very unfortunate. And on behalf of all of my friends and clients at Fadley's, Costas, this has been a struggle this year,
It's been
and
very
it's
difficult.
got to change. It has to, and I don't know what changes that politically, but I think having workers to pick, having crabs naturally, and the science of this, and I'll be getting into that throughout the month as well, about the marshes and the grasses and the oyster recovery, which is probably going to lead to part 2 of the tour, about oysters feeding crabs, because that's the story, right? And when you grow up over here, crabbing is something your neighbors, everybody does, right?
Absolutely. And one thing that is that the industry.
I'm going to eat. You talk.
Yeah, no, sure. The industry has felt under attack for a long time, and I think it's a reminder that the natural ecosystem of the Chesapeake Bay, while it's sensitive and something that I believe needs to be protected to the maximum extent possible, we also know that our watermen are a part of an industry that has been dying, but is critical to
and underrepresented politically, right? I mean,
absolutely.
They don't have all of this money to send to Annapolis or Washington to.
It's not like commercial agriculture in the sense that there are large corporations, very large corporations. It's much more.
This is an animal that needs to be hunted,
and
literally. No, I mean
a delicious animal.
No, but it's there's no farm raise, and this is something you have to naturally get and harvest. It can't be grown.
It must be, and it's also got to be done sustainably, and I believe in that absolutely, because we want it to be there for our kids and for our grandkids, and we want this to be part of the culture of our peninsula and our region for a long time to come. But that being said, I think we just have to recognize that our watermen are part of our community, that they need to be listened to, they need to be heard, and whatever it is going on that has created the shortage, it's something that we can address in concert with them. So I hope that there's an answer. I hope that next season is a little more affordable for all of us.
Yes.
It's obviously been a hard season, no doubt about it. But I'm glad to know. I'm glad to see that there are still restaurants that are able to get crab, serve crab, and this is the best place for it, in my opinion.
Well, the longer I sit here and eat it and taste it, the more I'm going to try to guess what's in it.
Go for it.
Is there white pepper in here in some way?
There is pepper in there.
There's white pepper in here. It's different. Because I tasted it, and I love white pepper, so I pulled it out. I pulled it right out. Not as sort of mustard. It's really sweet. I would say, and this is a high standard, but I grew up eating Angelina's crab cakes.
Okay.
And East Side, that was like the gold standard for me, even though I had 1,000 crab cakes in Dundalk, as you know. This is really similar. I really like this. This is delicious. You should get the Fratelli's. This is why everybody was telling me to come here. So quite frankly.
Well, we appreciate you coming.
No, this is great. I want to come back. I want you to tell me about the Secretary of Kindness before we bring her on. You want to do that?
I'd love to.
Because I've never really...
You're not going to find another city with a Secretary of Kindness.
On that, I'll just take a break. We'll come back. We'll introduce you. I'm Nestor. We are in Fratelli's. We are in Salisbury. I assure you, if you get off of 50 anywhere on the Eastern Shore, you're going to probably find a pretty good crab cake and a good time. I'm in search of all of the above, as well as some great conversations. Mayor Jake Day joining us here. George Kellis from Fratelli's. It says Italian outside, but you can trust the crab cakes. Come on by.
We're
going to continue on talking all good things Salisbury and Eastern Shore as the Maryland Crab Cake Tour rolls on. Big thanks to Coons Ford Security Boulevard, as well as our friends at Wise, Rofo, putting us on the road. I already plugged Pizza John's in the segment. Get on over there, grab yourself a cheesesteak, and say hello to my wife because she's getting some pizza from there now because I'm making her hungry. I am Nestor. We are WNST AM 1570 Towson, Baltimore, and even over on the Eastern Shore, we never stop talking. Baltimore, positive.